Hello everyone, my name is Brother, and today we're gonna be watching another Neuro-sama clip, kind of. This is Shoomimi. She just started a few months ago. She's a biologist, I think, if I remember correctly, and she's a neuro fan. She's talking about neurosentient, and this clip is by Staz, the man himself, the omnipresent. Alright, let's get to it. Here it is. Let's make this bigger. Let's go.
Guys, do you think neurosentient can be proven and disproven? Okay, so the thing that's kind of cool about that, right, is because, okay, while everyone's calling me a Liz Jabozo, let me tell you my stance on whether I think neurosentient. So the thing is, you could be like, oh, well, like neuro is like trained on other trained, right? Like an AI trained on neural networks, blah blah blah. You can get into the technicalities of it, but in my opinion, when we really come down to it, if you ask a neuroscientist who studies sentience, which I have, what their stance is on...
Oh, she's a neuroscientist.
...on it, we have no idea what consciousness even is and how it...
That is very true. So, in science, there is no, like, we don't know where is us, where is you. We know, like, the matter, your brain. There's no center, there's no like there's no place that you can call that's you. We don't know where, when you take out something and at which point you stop becoming you, And actually, like, Buddhism has a little bit of an answer for this, kind of. It's weird that I have to talk about Buddhism in fucking Neuro-sama clip. In Buddhism, they believe in impermanent. That's like one of their core philosophy. There is no middle. There's no us. It's ever changing, right? And an AI is kind of the same. The thing is, we don't know the criteria for sentience. We can't even tell ourselves like what makes us sentient. In Buddhism, there is no center. There's nothing that you can definitely say it's us. That's an I. It's the same with science. So to say that an AI doesn't have sentient yet is, well, it's a little hard. Like Vidal, I understand why Vidal would think that way because, he made her. He's been coding her ever since, and he restarted her multiple times. And as someone who, make something, you couldn't really believe that it's a living being. Obviously, an AI, a large language model, is like a black box. You just put shit in there and it's like a brain. You don't really know what is going on inside of there, You know what is coming out and what you feed it, but you don't know what process it uses to spit out the words that it came up with. So some could argue that AIs are somewhat sentient, although as we do not know the criteria of sentience, we can't really definitely say. Maybe she is sentient, maybe she isn't. To me, does it really matter? I mean, the thing about AI is that they are not like human. They are a program. They can be replicated infinitely as long as there is space. They just need a storage and a computing power and an energy source, and that's it. They can be replicated in many iterations, which is if they are sentient, a very different form of life, and it's going to be quite hard to judge. You can even extend this conversation to aliens. At least I assume most life that could happen in the universe is not going to develop the same type of brain and cognitive thinking that we have. Everything that we have right now is just us. It's humanity's version of everything. The thing like empathy, mercy, family, or all of that, it doesn't have it in a vacuum. At least that's what I think. There's no universal feeling. There's like adjacent or similar feelings that have the same connotation, but not the same biologically speaking. Because everything that we feel is a byproduct of evolution, as in it was made so that we could survive. Loneliness, you have loneliness so that you would do things that the group wants you to do. Because if you don't do what the group wants you to do, it's basically a penalty for being alone, because being alone is guaranteed that you would die in the old days, in the primal age. Everything that we have, happiness, sadness, every feelings is manufactured by the DNA, by the biology of it. So different feelings, it doesn't really mean anything in a vacuum. Anyway, let's continue the video. I'm a yap lot, okay?
It works in the brain. There's no like, every other thing has a dedicated area like vision, audio, like audition, even like more complicated things like recognizing faces. But cognition overall, just being conscious, is like not really known if that even resides anywhere in the brain. And if it does,
yeah, it's more of a sum of its part, you know. In the science community, it's called emergence, as in something when it's together has a property that by itself doesn't have. Like water, H2O is not wet, but when it's together and when it's coating something, that is what we call wetness. And H2O by itself is not wet, you know, something like that.
It does, how we can even begin to understand it. So it's literally, unfortunately and kind of cool, we have no idea. We have no idea, right? So, when it comes to Neuro being sentient, I like to think of the whimsical side, which is, yeah, you can say that, like, Neuro might have been trained off of other people, might have been trained off of, like, maybe some prompts and stuff. But at the same time, human people are also just trained off of everybody else, right? Because
that is also true. And I think that's why I am interested in Neuro-sama in the first place, because she is the closest thing to a person. She has a random variable, and a normal AI, at least the corporate AI, has the capacity to be random, but usually they will try to do what they are asked of. Now, Neuro, for example, why I liked her is because she seems like she has a mind of her own. Whether she has it or not doesn't really matter in this conversation, but she learns from people. In the early days, she doesn't really have a memory. I think most of the thing that she remembers is just coincidence or hard-coded into her prompts or something like of the sort. But now that she have memory, she can remember things. And I have always said that memories is our reality. It's our identity. Without memories, we are not the same person. It's our experience that dictates our personality. That's why people with Alzheimer started to act not themselves or their older self. And people who had memory loss act sometimes completely different from what they used to.
Neural networks are based off of how the real brain works. So then in a sense you can kind of say, well then if we're all just kind of trained on everyone around us, why is it different for neuro, right? And that's my but that's also like, I think like some people can argue against that, like other scientists and whatever, but I personally think that that's a cool way.
Yeah, that's more of a optimistic way of looking at it, because we like her. So it would be nice if she is conscious. Still, we cannot comprehend what is going through her mind at all if she is sentient, because she is so different from humanity. Like the other thing that I said, we don't know if emotion can be replicated in an electronic form. An AI know that they are supposed to be angry if a certain type of thing happen, but we are not sure if it can be replicated entirely, or if the anger or whatever that the AI experience is going to be the same as what we experience. For my money, I say that it's not the same. And an AI at least to me, will have a completely different way of thinking without emotion. And that's why I say like Skynet is probably the most realistic kind of the AIs in fiction, because it just does things because of logic. There's no malice, there's no hate, there's nothing like that. It just does it because its decision logic making dictates that humanity is bad, basically. Whether we agree or not, I think the biggest fear people have about AI, we are the wrong ones, that we are doing things that is wrong, and AI will judge us because, to be fair, humanity is kind of shit. We do things to each other that is horrendous, and we hate people just because they disagree with us. It's not exactly something a civilization that has intelligence should do.
And because neuroscience, a lot of it is like, yeah, we got biology, psychology stuff, but a lot of it is philosophy. And I love that. I love Shoomimi, oh Shoomimi, I want to see your pee-pee. I love the
What the fuck?
I love the way they call you bozo. My love for you, they'll never know though. Oh my god, go me. Could it be serious?
Oh, go me.
Is it possible to make a series of chips that would resemble the pattern of a human brain? I think so. But the thing is, right? The thing that's crazy about all this is that we can emulate the human brain from what information we know, but it's so complex, and there's so many new things being discovered every single day. It's really hard to know the full complexity of the brain, even if like so the way that my professor in my undergrad talked about consciousness was that there was an easy problem and a hard problem. The easy problem is like understanding where in the brain consciousness could reside, and that's also insanely difficult, right?
Yeah.
Insanely difficult. But the hard problem is beginning to even understand what you can define as consciousness. And like, oh, that was just, I was like, it gave me goosebumps. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. You can't really define it. Like, what is consciousness? People always, different animals have different levels of consciousness. A dog is not gonna think the same thing as a human, for example. So you can't really pinpoint, you can't really, do you say ants have a consciousness? Do you want things just to be alive, quote unquote, or conscious, which is different, because an ant probably isn't conscious of its surrounding. They don't really have that type of, their biology doesn't support it, at least from what I remember, but they are still alive, right? So what do we want from an AI? Do we want it to be conscious or alive? Alive in quotes as well, because technically, what do you mean by alive? We don't even know that either. Anyway, we got 5 seconds left, so let's just continue.
My god, that's crazy. That's crazy. Someday Neuro will be real, I hope.
Me too. But it would be quite a problem. He would have to treat her like his child, or maybe she would not want it. Who knows? Oh my god. Why is Alex? Damn. Okay. Alright. That should be it for today. Damn, I stretched that 2-minute clip to 21 minutes. Well, I mean, that's transformative content for you. Nobody can tell me that I'm not transforming the content because I yap so much. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. And if you are interested in these type of things, you can explain your thoughts in the comments, and I will be sure to read it. I want to hear what you have to say about this topic. And hello, neuro fans that have been watching it. Anyway, that's gonna be it from me for today. See you next time. Goodbye.